It's a Manchu. Welcome back to Minecraft Bedrock vs. Java, where I play through both versions of the game and compare the two. I am here in the Bedrock world, and as you can obviously tell, I've made some progress. I have full diamond gear, and it's somewhat enchanted as well, and also, you will soon see that I've built some things here. So this here is a barn that I've built, using some of the new blocks here. This is cobbled grimstone. Great block, really, for building stuff. Also, I found this tuff is really nice for paths and roads and the like. I have a mixture of tuff and gravel with some path blocks mixed in. And here we've got some sheep and some cows in here. I had chickens at one point, but I decided to cull that herd because they weren't really all something I really needed, and they made a lot of noise. And beyond that, over to here is my trade hall that I built. A very imposing looking building of another type of grimstone. Don't mind these guys. I had a little mishap. As you can see, this trade hall was about half built, and I decided to go and do some mining and left the doors off. I didn't have any doors on this building, and well, this happened. I lost the cartographer and the cleric and also the shepherd as well. I replaced the shepherd because I needed him right away. The other two I'm going to save and hopefully find a cure for them at some time. And I have some storage chests back here behind the stairs. You can also see that these stairs are made with the new cut copper blocks, cut copper steps. And you can tell I've been here a while because these have aged quite a bit. 3 librarians here. We got a Mending, Silk Touch, and Fortune 3 librarian. And up here, you can see I have an enchanting table set up and some beds. And an interesting thing I've discovered some interesting things about amethyst blocks. For one thing, I really don't like the color. It kind of clashes with about everything else I can think of to build with. But you can carpet over it, and you still make the noise when you walk on it. So that's pretty cool, because I really like the noise that it makes. I also considered using amethyst blocks as some kind of an early warning system, so I could hear, like, if mobs were sneaking up on me with it. And I discovered that not all mobs make noise when they walk on this stuff. And the list of mobs that do make the sounds from walking on it is kind of small, actually. Creepers do, which is good, but also cats do. Foxes make that noise. Villagers, wandering traders, and the various types of pillagers do. But what doesn't make the noise is zombies, both kinds of spiders, all the different variations of skeletons. Endermen make the noise walking on it. Axolotls do also, but axolotls move so slowly on it, it's hard to tell. But I think that they do. And the only difference I could find between Java and Bedrock is, in Bedrock Edition, zombified piglins make the noise when they walk on amethyst blocks, even though piglins don't, and no other variety of zombies do. And I think that might actually be a bug. But anyway, so this building over here is where I keep the Zero to Kelp farm. And spoiler alert, you can kind of tell, I found a mine shaft when I was mining. And in a chest minecart, I found some glowberries. Glowberries are really cool new block that you can use to make these glowberry vines. They look nice, they provide lighting, and also you can climb on them. So, like, if I wanted to access the top of this Zero to Kelp farm to, like, work on stuff over here, I could do that. I can just jump right back down again, crawling down the vines. Kinda nice. And I just want to go down in this mine really quick to show you something. I had discovered a couple of amethyst geodes on one end of the island. I was going to dig down to the level where they were and then, like, tunnel over to them. But then I dug straight down into another amethyst geode. It turns out that amethyst geodes are actually pretty common. They're all over the frickin' place. And also, I have a feeling that mine shafts are as well. You can tell that this is a mine shaft area here as well. But this particular amethyst geode, I dug everything out except the budding amethyst blocks. And looks like I missed some ore over there. We'll collect that. But that gave me a lot of... I accidentally silk touched it. That's better. That gave me a lot of the amethyst blocks and the calcite and the smooth basalt to use in my various builds. So anyway, over here you can also see there's some azalea trees here. I did find moss blocks. I think I found them in the shipwreck. Although it is also possible to get them from Wandering Trader. And in fact, from Wandering Trader, I got some pointed dripstone and I got some dripstone leaves. I understand kind of what they're used. Well, I understand kind of what you can do with them, but I really don't know what use to make of them. Honestly, I don't know what to do with them. But these moss blocks are really awesome, and I can just demonstrate it really quick what you do. You can place this on the ground, and with a single bone meal, it will convert lots of blocks around into moss. It will convert various kinds of dirt and natural stone into moss blocks, and also grow up a lot of grass and azalea bushes. This is a flowering azalea bush. I can grow that with bone meal into one of these trees, which is pretty neat. And also some moss carpet. Most of the stuff that's made, in fact, everything that's made by bone milling moss blocks can itself be composted to make more bone meal. So it's an actual effective way to get lots and lots of bone meal. And over here you can see that I have a new bee nest. I planted a lot of saplings to get this, but I finally got one. There's a couple of different ways that you can harvest stuff from this nest. One would be to place a campfire underneath it, but the danger with the campfire is the bees can like fly into the campfire and hurt themselves. You can cover it over with carpet, but if you do that in Bedrock Edition, then the campfire won't work, and you'll aggravate the bees by trying to harvest from it if the campfire is covered with carpet. Another way to do it is just use a dispenser, push the button, and I get the stuff from it. That's another way to do it. Anyway, speaking of which, I'm going to take that. I think the bees are all inside of it. The reason why I'm not fully caught up yet, I haven't got to where I was before. I'd say I'm a little more than halfway there, which is something. I've made a lot of progress, but the reason I'm showing this video right now is because I want to actually make a bee farm. It's something I haven't done before. I messed around with bees a little bit when they first were introduced to the game, but they weren't all that useful back then. But now there's a couple of good uses for honeycomb. One is to wax copper blocks so that they don't age, or they won't age anymore. And the other is to make candles, which unfortunately you can't make candles in Bedrock Edition yet. That's something that's hopefully coming, but it's not here yet. But you definitely can use it for waxing copper blocks. So today I'm going to go ahead and make a bee farm in the Bedrock Edition world and the Java Edition world. And I've come up with a design that should work in both versions. This is kind of the footprint of where I'm going to build it. And let me collect the materials I need and get started with it. Okay, to start with, wherever there's a torch, I'm going to put one of these hives. Dispenser facing down into the nest. Dig out a trench here. Now, behind each of these hives, have an observer facing into the hive. Like so. Okay. Okay, that should work. So what will happen is bees are going to go out and collect nectar from flowers. And then when they return to the hive, they're going to increase the honey level of the hive by 1. When it reaches level 5, it'll be ready to harvest. This observer is going to detect every time the hive updates its state. So it increases by a level. It will detect that, and it will activate powering this block, powering this redstone, powering this block, and then that will activate the dispenser, which will have shears in it, which will then shear the hive. And it doesn't matter that the hive won't be full every time the dispenser is activated, because if the dispenser is activated using shears, and it uses shears, and there's nothing for it to shear, nothing happens. So that's fine. Now I just had to put shears in there. It'll take me a while to get enough shears. Anyway, once it shears the hive and it produces the honeycomb is going to produce itself right in the center of that hive. And then the honeycomb will get pushed out from that solid block into an adjacent block. It can get pushed out into another solid block and then get pushed out from that to another solid block and so on. I've had it so that that hive I had over there, when I harvested honeycomb from it once, the honeycomb ended up in the top of the tree. I want to avoid the honeycomb flying all over the place, so I'm going to hopefully get it to drop into this trench here. I'm going to fill it with water and have the water streams push all the honeycomb to be collected on one side. So if I do this right, okay, one more thing I need for this to be complete. I harvested from some azalea trees some flowered azalea leaves, and the interesting thing about this is not only flowering azalea bushes act as flowers as far as bees are concerned, so do the flowering leaves. So I can use these in place of flowers for the bees to go and collect the nectar from. And they serve an additional purpose. The honeycomb, when it gets sheared, could end up popping out a couple blocks over and out of the water stream. By putting full blocks here, it prevents that from happening, and hopefully most or all of the honeycomb is going to end up in this trench and get washed into the hoppers. Alright, now ultimately I want to close this whole thing off so the bees will be stuck in this farm and not able to get out. But I need a way in and out, a way to get in and out where the bees can't get in and out. And what I'm going to do that is I'm going to dig myself a hole here. Gotta be down far enough here. I think that's good. Am I safely out? And then fill this hole with water. There. That looks like right. Okay. Looks like I did it right. So now once this is done and I have everything walled off, I can get in and out by driving down here and swimming up through here. Bees don't swim, and they certainly don't go scuba diving underwater, so I can get in and out here easily without having to open and close any doors that the bees can sneak through. Alright, now I just have to wall all this off. There. Now I'm only lacking two things for this to be fully functional. Shears for the dispensers and bees. I need freaking bees. Alright, I still don't have all the shears, but I have at least some shears in all of these so I can get started and start breeding these bees. Let's see, I gotta replace one of these hives with the nest that's actually occupied by bees. At least I think it still is. There we go. And there's another bee in there, right? Please, God, tell me there's another bee in there. Thank goodness. I was beginning to worry. Excellent. Let the repopulation begin. Alright, we're getting some bees. I still need to breed them up more, but I have all of the dispensers full of shears. Let's see how much honeycomb I have right now, as things are just starting out. There's 24 in there. There's another 30 in there. It's coming along. So, there's a little more work to be done with breeding up these bees a little bit more to get this at full capacity, but I'm pretty happy with how it's going. And as I said, as of now, candles are not available in Bedrock Edition, and that is sad. It makes me very sad. I'd love to be able to mess around with candles, but I can in the Java Edition, and in fact, the next thing I'm going to do is go and make a bee farm in Java Edition as well. Alright, here I am back in the Java world, ready to make a bee farm here. And you can see behind me here, there's another hive, and here I have a campfire with a carpet covering it over. So that's something I can do, and this will still work with the carpet over it. It will still prevent the bees from getting angry when I harvest honeycomb from them. Alright, now I just got to get started on the bee farm, wherever I'm going to put it. Maybe right about in here. Alright, it's built. And just like in the Bedrock edition, I still need to breed more of the bees. It's going to take a while to do that because they can only breed so often. Now let's see how much honeycomb we have. Well, we have some. Let me go get some string real quick. New recipes unlocked. Let's see. How do I make candles? Is it like this? It is. And can I make them different colors? Yes, I can. Oh, interesting. So I can stack multiple candles in one place, but they have to be the same color. Huh. Okay. Apparently I can't stack more than one candle on that block either. Well, that's one advantage that Java Edition right now has over Bedrock Edition: candles. That will be introduced to Bedrock Edition at some time in the future. I don't know how long. Hopefully before the next big 1.18 update, Caves and Cliffs 2. Sometime between now and then, we'll have candles in Bedrock Edition 2. But for now, I think that's enough for today. I still need more work on getting more bees. But now I have candles. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of other of the new 1.17 update blocks in the Java world. And that's because I haven't done any exploration of new chunks. I'm going to have to do that at some time. And also, my home base is getting kind of cluttered with a lot of buildings, and I might want to do some terraforming and do some more detailing and decorating at some time when I have time. For the near future, I'm going to be focused on getting caught up in Bedrock Edition, back to where things were. And I hope that in the next week, I can manage to get there. But if you've made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. You must have liked what you saw, so click on the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. Hopefully in the next week, we'll have made a lot of progress in the Bedrock Edition world and be close to caught up. We'll see how close we get next time on Amon chooses Minecraft, Java versus Bedrock.